chicken tikka. We name drop here with Stefan, Mike, and whoever.
Hello.
Right there. Hey.
Hey.
I can't hear you, Stefan.
God.
I can't hear you.
Come on.
The whole time I was muted. Beautiful.
Okay.
You were.
Anyway,
You want to try it again?
No, you're supposed to go, here's Adika. Ready?
I know, but you're muted.
I know.
Here, right there. There he is. It's
You know
his
what?
show.
This is why live TV is great, because Michael Lago walked off the camera. So let's do this. Why not? It's 8:01. Let's do it one more time. Ready? Watch it. Okay, one more time. Ready?
Yeah.
That's right. It's Coffee Talk. Don Most and the gang. Right there, Mike. You're supposed to go after the horn. You go, here's Adika.
That's a killer picture.
Right?
You were muted when you told me that. All right, ready?
No.
Ladies? Ladies?
Forget it, Mike. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You just can't do right. This is why I yell at you. This is why I yell at you.
I repost.
This is why.
Listen,
Third time's a charm.
You know what, Mike?
I finally posted the
there it is. There it is. I need nobody. There it is. You, Corey, are so pathetic. Oh, I love you. You make me happy.
Smile, Corey, darling. And I don't know who that Amsterdam person is that you mentioned.
I don't know either. What person was I talking about?
He messaged me privately.
Oh, which one?
Corey.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
He's trying to do his own show, I bet.
I don't know who Jim Amsterdam is, and I have no idea if I met him back in the day. I'm lucky I know that my name's Michael Alago on some days.
Nobody messages Alago without me knowing. But you know what? Look at this, Michael. Watch this. There's more to come from Adika. The wrath of Adika is about to. Isn't that fabulous?
Wonderful.
Johnny Carson.
So, wait, is it Don or Donny?
Don.
It's been Don since he left Happy Days.
Oh, okay, Don. Hey, Don. Okay, and is he here with us yet?
Not yet. He'll be here 8:30, 11:30 your time.
In a half hour.
Yeah, but probably be a little earlier. It's Don.
So I guess we shouldn't talk a lot about him prior to him getting here, we don't.
You're totally right. But you know who we'll talk about? Let's bring him on. He didn't get to talk to you yesterday, Michael Lago. Corey, this is what you look like for a fabulous television sensation. I bring an entertainer. You can't fix your hair?
Mary, you need better fucking mousse.
It's like, Corey.
I got out of the I took a shower for a time.
This is in the cup.
Shake your head.
You do something. Do you dye your hair, Corey? No gray?
No,
my mother Blanche would go like this.
I put the gray cover up in there.
The front right there.
Yeah, the front, the alfalfa thing you got going on there.
Okay.
Can I talk about the new theme song? It goes Stefan, Mike, and whoever. It's like the first season of Gilligan's Island when they said the movie star and the rest. No. Professor and Marianne were characters.
Hey, you guys, you want to see me get in big trouble, you guys? Because I love her so much. She's so beautiful. Mrs. Adika, look how beautiful you are. Live TV. Look, you get to see Michael Lago.
Hello.
Oh, look how beautiful Mrs. Adika is. I got her on here.
She looks like she doesn't want to be on.
No. Amber, look, do you see Michael Lago? He loves you. Hello?
She's not even chatting us up.
She's mad at me.
You know what? Leave her alone. It's too early.
Okay, watch this. Mike Fasano.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, Michael. I'm sorry I didn't get to say hi to you yesterday. I don't know. It was muted? I was backstage.
I don't know. Well, anyway, here we are.
Yeah.
Are we live now?
Yeah, we are live now.
Oh,
we are live now.
Okay. So where do we begin Wednesday, May 13th?
Right here. Did you see this, Michael? Watch this. Mike Fasano's new comic coming out.
Oh,
That's great.
all right. Okay.
Fantastic. So Michael, we've got a great new theme song. It's Stefan, Mike, and whoever is on the show is really the tagline to our theme song that our friend Mark Van Zyzen did about a month and a half ago, and Stefan finally figured out how to put it up. We also got a great sizzler reel for the show, as the kids call it in the business. It's now it's up on the YouTube channel. I've posted it now. My friend has been crying over here.
Which one?
I can never figure this out. You crying over here about getting to 1,000 subscribers. I've posted it now. You're going to get 1,000 subscribers by Friday. I promise.
Fantastic.
It's actually very crazy. Let me bring the other guys here because they
Wait,
do make.
Don, either of you. I forget. I mean, I know what it is, but I forget. What did we call these things?
Oh, that's a good. You know who'll know that? Right here. Let's bring
Black Crows.
Mcvey.
Spindle.
This was called a spindle.
Yeah, for the 45s.
Spindle was the thing you put on the skinny things. You could put the 7 in.
It's same thing. It's for the 45s.
Well, I know it's for the 45. I just wanted to know the proper.
That's what it's called.
Good morning, Alago.
Yeah, right. I mean, oh yeah. Good morning, darling. And so
What the hell?
but no. These were small, yellow, and plastic.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, they were different. Weren't they different in the UK? They were metal. And you kind of had to force it almost. And once or twice, I broke a 7-inch because of those metal ones.
Yes, yeah, but they're supposed to go right on top of the turntable. It's supposed to look really good. Oh, that's not a spindle, is it? That's
No, it's
no. That looks like something from a ship.
yeah. That's Love Boat or Happy Days, right? Look at this guy right here. Hold on. You got so much air coming in the background, more than your mouth. It's unbelievable why Ben Lemur really got rid of you.
Oh my God, you'll carry on about this like it happened yesterday.
I'm a Jew. That's what I do. Corey,
it's a spindle adapter, Lago. I just looked it up.
Thank you very much. Spindle adapter. Okay.
Look at all the stuff Corey got. He got a cup. He got a poster. Look at him. He's calling you personally. Look at
Joanne
got a doll coming
blow
out.
drying her hair.
Yeah.
Joanne blow drying her hair.
I can't hear you, Mike. There's too much hissing coming from Corey's sound.
Y'all are terrible.
That's the new mute.
Good to see you, Fasano. Hi. Hi, Corey.
I'm glad I only come here once or twice a week. Y'all carry on like there's no tomorrow with this poor guy.
You know what? I speak Brooklynese. And Corey makes fun of me. He's always Brooklynese. Hocking me China. Why are you hocking me China, Corey?
He's always hocking his China.
There's no such phrase as that.
There is. I think Michael Lago in Brooklyn. Correct me if I'm wrong. People like me, we speak it our own lingo, right? If you had the guys in the neighborhood that pronounce words the way they think it should be. Am I right?
Well, you know what? Yes, definitely. Doyle from the Misfits, who's a very good friend of mine, came out with this vegan protein powder, and it's called Death by Chocolate. But he spells it CHAWLIT. Chocolate. And so people were like, what is chocolate? I'm like, obviously you didn't grow up in Brooklyn or on the East Coast. Chocolate. This is Death by Chocolate. It's like Abbott and Costello or like the Little Rascals.
Yes.
Chocolate.
I love this. So does Doyle really speak like I never met Doyle. Does he speak like that?
Wait, don't.
Okay. I love
He's going to bring Doyle out of the closet. He's
my God.
He just talked about a misspelling. There's an actual Yiddish phrase, and you are pronouncing it completely wrong. There's a difference between pronouncing.
Are we talking about a Yiddish phrase now?
What I tell you, Stefan?
It drives Corey so crazy that I'm pronouncing things wrong. I even spell it. I change the whole word. It's like me calling Michael Fred. It's like an opposite. It's like Fred Alago's here today on the show.
Right. So I got this protein powder from.
Hold on. Let me make that bigger. Let me see that. Oh, that's vegan monster protein.
Right, and it's Death by Chocolate.
Oh, that's great how he spelled it. Chocolate. Oh, that's great. That's great. Now, what's the main ingredients in that, Michael?
Oh yeah. There's so many. Let's see. Oh God. Well, there's like pea protein and brown rice protein and quinoa powder and spirulina.
Oh wow.
Lots of good stuff. So you'll go check it out.
Yes, definitely. Now, is that so? That's his. He's selling that, Doyle.
That's correct. It's from a company. Let's see, called. I think you can get it at Conscious Muscle Supplements. So that's CM Supplements.
Oh, how wonderful! You know,
It's really good too. I started mixing a big serving of this with almond milk, and I shake it up in a little shaker, and it's really delicious.
you could probably do a lot of
Can we
different.
put it in our coffee?
You probably could put it in the coffee.
Oh, I don't know. This is like for like protein powders, aren't they? For like shakes mostly.
But you could do in a blender like with an ice and make it like
blender.
an ice mocha, like
Sure.
a Vitamix, and
That's
you can
what
mix,
I meant.
yeah,
Sure.
banana. You could put all together.
I'm trying a new coffee this morning.
You know what, Michael? I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna ask for a friend favor. Maybe one day we could get Doyle on here. We could talk about that. If you could.
Sure, it's a little tough because it takes him hours to put on his makeup, and he never goes in front of the camera without his makeup.
Really?
But I'll talk to him this afternoon and ask him if he wants to come on next week.
We'll do
and
a
let's
different
figure
time.
out what the covering is going to be. Maybe it's like a Misfits covering that's just all these teeth.
That'd
So
be fun.
I'll ask him this afternoon.
Yeah.
For sure.
So he never goes without the makeup. Never go. There's no
Not
picture.
on screen. No,
Wow.
no.
Wow.
no.
Wow.
And he gets pissed off if people catch him. It's just a mystique thing.
I
It's
love
like,
it.
You know,
I love it.
Misfits. You know,
I love that.
It's a shtick. It's great shtick.
It's a great shtick. It's like Corey. See, you got a good shtick here. You know, you should cover your face with something like the. Look,
He's got a good what?
You got a good shtick going on.
Oh,
the
shit.
bed, the poster, the shirt, the
hair.
hair. He's Michael Douglas over here. Handsome. You're a handsome man.
Yeah.
Where's your wife? Where's your hot wife?
Yeah.
Where's your hot wife? Come on. Where's
She's
your hot
blow
wife?
drying her hair.
Get her in here. Get
That's
her in
what
here
I want
really
to wait
quick.
for.
I
While
wanna
we wait
give her
for
a
the
hug.
wife, everybody, Adika is drinking his Spearhead. www.spearhead coffee right over here. Look at it, Corey's bedroom. Here, right there's a little Spearhead. Get that in your life. Hey, Mcvey, what's going on in the comments? Let's say good morning to everybody really quick.
Let's do that.
Let's do that really quick.
There's comments already?
Oh, there it is. Lynn Barker.
Lynn Barker says, "Hi, Kath."
We got Wendy Crouse. Good morning.
Good morning, Michael Mcvey. Good morning, Wendy.
Wendy wrote me a beautiful letter yesterday,
There
and
she
I actually shared that with Michael Lago. Look, hold on
There
one
she
second.
is.
Hi, Joanne.
This
How are
is
you doing
America.
today?
Good morning. How are you?
Good
I'm
morning.
also drying my hair. I have an
See?
interview, a video interview. I'm so nervous. So
You're hired.
Don't be
Brian,
nervous.
you're-
A video interview with who? May I ask?
a marketing company.
Oh, wonderful.
So I
Well-
was laid off because of COVID. So I put out like 150 applications. This is the first one.
You're
Well, there's
hired.
a reason why these people got back to you first, and if it's something that you want, I hope that you get.
Thank
Wait,
you.
let's
There's
send
no
them.
nervousness. Just be quiet before you. Excuse me, I'm in the middle of a sentence.
Hold on. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. Hold
It's
on.
okay for those. Please, if it's something you want, I hope you get. And before you get on with whoever these people are, you'll just give like a 30-second meditation and just be calm and say, I'm going to get through this. And I'm so thrilled that this is happening this morning. That's it. Keep it simple.
Yeah. So you guys are my therapy right now before I get on. I'm enjoying the show, but I have to tell you, because of your guest, a really funny Corey Happy Days story. So,
Yes.
so you know, he's a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? He's angry all the time.
Obviously,
because he's short, I
stalker
think
as well.
some short guy issues, so he's just angry. So I wish it was a character for the show, but it's the real deal, real Corey. Love him though, but anyways,
Love him, though.
but I do.
Love him.
Corey, shut and let her talk. We are on a time clock here. He interrupts.
So just really quick, so in fact, we just showed our daughter our wedding video, right? So taking a trip down memory lane. So during the wedding, walking down the aisle, I'm crying. I'm an emotional person, right? So I'm crying. Corey kind of hardly cracks a smile through the whole thing.
She's crying. What did I do?
So the day our daughter is born, I'm crying, happy tears. He was happy, don't get me wrong, but not a tear. So we're watching a Happy Days reunion. I look over on the couch in the middle of it. He's bawling. I'm like, you don't cry over our wedding, but you're crying over a Happy Days reunion.
It was very moving. It was a very moving show.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, oh my God. You were crying. What happened?
Let's not bring that up again.
Oh, maybe I need to talk to Don about this. Oh my God.
Wow.
Corey, really? And he paces. Why is he pacing? Why
He's
is he
gotta pee.
pace? What does he do?
Nervous Nelly. I don't.
Why are you pacing? Oh, you poor thing. Oh my goodness. Oh
But
my.
you guys have a great show. I'm gonna
Thank
finish
you.
this.
Nice to see
Thank you. Nice seeing you.
Good luck this
Look
morning.
at the way he's looking at you. You're a real Uncle Creepy. You're a sick
What?
person. Look at you. All right, everybody. Let's bring him back over here to say goodbye. There he is.
Well,
Bizarre.
listen, Joanne, I was just going to say, why don't we send you the link at the end of your interview? We'll still be on. You pop on with your person who is interviewing you, and we'll vouch for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
How do you even,
And
Mike?
have him
Mike's making
subscribe.
arrangements. He doesn't even know what he's talking about. Mike, you don't even know if the
You
guy's going
can't
to
do
say it.
something like
You
that.
can't do something
Can
like
we
that,
move
Mike.
on, please?
Yeah, let's go. Oh my God. Oh my
And
God.
Are there more
I'm
people
sorry.
saying
I'm
hello?
sorry.
in this,
I'm sorry.
What is that called again, hon?
Did
All right, let's go
you
talk to
guys
the
think I
people.
was serious?
We don't know.
Let's go, you fucking
No, I
All
don't
right.
know.
Debbie Mola's here. Hi, Debbie. Good morning, Debbie. The Colonel. Morning, Michael.
Hi,
Morning,
Colonel.
But hello. We got Ashley Alexander. Good morning, Coffee Talkers. Ashley Alexander is the person who did the Sgt. Pepper. And you know what? Thank you so much for making the coffee pepper a photograph right here. That is
Yeah.
Ashley's creation.
Oh, that's
That's
great.
kick ass.
So Ash and he did it so detailed.
Kick ass.
Look what he did. Look,
Yeah, kick ass.
everybody in there. You could see if you could find Michael. Can you see where you are, Michael?
I see
Yes,
a lot.
I'm
He even
above-
put the B in there.
right.
Corey's B's in there.
Diagonally above Laurel and Hardy.
That's right. That's right. Look at that.
Sure.
The guy, great work. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Ashley. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Let's see over here what we got over here. We got Alex is here in the house. She's saying hi to Kath. Debbie's saying hi to Joanne. We got Stefan Stalker saying hi to Kath. We got Fed Rock. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. That's
Good
wonderful.
morning.
That's good morning. Everybody's saying good morning to everybody. Look how beautiful this is. Kath Grant, Spooky Peg says hello to Joe, Lynn, and Debbie. And then Debbie says hi to Ashley. And then Abby says Rob wins. And then Jackie goes, hi, Kath. See how you guys, we have a family here. You know, look at that. Fede Rock Hi Adika gang. Wendy Crouse wrote to me yesterday because she wrote me a touching letter a long time ago. But she actually said to me yesterday, she wrote me a beautiful, and I sent it to Michael Lago. And your letters mean so much to me, everybody out there. And I appreciate that we, as a team, everybody I bring here, my gang, we bust chops, but we really love each other. It's all fun and games. We just want everybody to be happy and be healthy, and that's what it's all about. I've been watching since February 27th, and through your show, I have gained 7 new friends. And sometimes your show lifts me up, too. Thank you so much, Wendy Crouse. Wendy, we love you, and I'm glad we could make friends because Corey needs some friends, too. So we're looking for him, too.
Hi, Wendy Crouse.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's over here. We got Alex saying hi to Ashley, Fed Rock. This is beautiful. Everybody's saying hello to everybody. So Joe Basha, hey Fred Rock, Mia Ace, good morning, Mcvey.
Good morning.
Ashley Alexander, hi Debbie Alex. Look, this is beautiful. And Wendy Krause says good morning, Mcvey. So we're here, everybody. What is going on today? Michael Lago, you posted something beautiful, and it was a post. It starts a little sad, but it's remembering somebody great that wrote great music right here. I'm going to post that there. Right there, Michael.
That is an autograph from the great trumpet player, Chet Baker. Unfortunately, today, May 13th, is his death date. He fell out of a window in Amsterdam in 1988. Unfortunately, I don't think he ever stopped doing drugs. But he was an extraordinary player. He was part of that West Coast jazz sound in the 50s and 60s. And at one point, when he got out of the Army, one of his first promo pictures, and I hope we don't get too much of a glare. Let me just see if I find it. One of his first.
I have this one right here, right there.
Oh, that's a great one. But who is that company who always did photographs like this? Kriegsman, I think they were called.
Was there was a movie, the actor who played him in a movie, Chet Baker,
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke, that's right.
Yeah.
Actually, they look like each other.
So anyway,
come on.
I was going to pull up the picture that I pulled off my wall.
Let me see that
But
right there.
But maybe we can get a better version of it right there. Ooh.
Oh, okay. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Oops. Oh.
I got it. We got it right there.
Yeah,
Perfect.
that was one of the first promo pictures that the West Coast photographer William Claxton took of Chet. Chet was really very, very special. He had a very beautiful, almost feminine type of voice. You can look him up, of course, on YouTube. And fashion photographer Bruce Weber did a movie about him, a documentary called "Let's Get Lost."
Oh wow, that's
Chet in the end.
That's it. Can you hold that a little closer? That photo, that book.
Sorry, darling.
That's good. Oh wow, that's him at the end. Wow.
Yeah.
Now Bruce Weber, the photographer, didn't he take pictures like Ditto? He used to a famous photographer back in the day.
Weber, yeah, I mean, he had Abercrombie and Fitch jobs and Calvin Klein, and he makes movies as well. I still wish I could find his He did a doc on Robert Mitchum. And I don't know if it ever came out or not. I've seen trailers on YouTube, but I would love to see that documentary. But anyway, the Chet Baker movie from 1988 is when it was finished, and it's also when Chet passed. It's called Let's Get Lost, and it's pretty fantastic.
It is. It's some amazing story. You know, it's funny. You know, I didn't realize today is the day he passed away, and ironically, we have Don Most coming on, who's a big fan of the big band American Standards Music, and he has many albums out on it, and we'll talk about all that with Don later when he comes on here. But really quick, the documentary, now I'm fanboying about the documentary. It's funny, I got into Chet later, and the documentary took me to another place. There's a crazy interview right before he passed away, and you could see he's like maybe at a bar or wherever he's going to play. What is the story about when you got his autograph?
Sure.
Hear about this story right now.
He came in the late 70s and early 80s. He only came to the States like once a year. So there was a small club off Bleecker and Thompson called Lush Life. And it was a very cold December day. I knew he was performing there, so I went to go meet him. And I was going with my friend Carol, who had a book out on jazz portraits. So there was a beautiful picture of Chet in Carol's book. And so I got there early. I was sitting at the bar, and all of a sudden he walked in, and hold on, I'm going to find this for you all. Please bear with me. And he sat next to me, and I was thrilled. And I said hello, and he was very kind, and he said hello as well.
Oh, wow.
Carol took that. She was sitting in the back of his convertible, and they were going down Fifth Avenue.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I said, "Oh, Chet, do you mind signing my book for me?"
Can I see the cover of that book, Michael, for a second?
Sure.
A Moment's Notice. Okay. Great.
Yeah. So I said,
UB Blake on the cover?
Yes, it's UB Blake, the late, great UB Blake on the cover. So I said, "Do you mind signing my book for me?" And he said, "No, you got $40? And I thought, oh, this is not going to go well. So, of course, I gave him the $40. I knew it. The money would probably go to no good. But he signed my book, and it's a beautiful signature. And then he showed up on time for the show, thank God. And he played an exquisite set.
So this is that's the actual signature in the book right there.
Yes, of course. Yes.
That's wonderful. Wow. Look at it, Mike. Thanks so much. How about the thanks so much?
Yeah, and it's a beautiful signature too.
There's
a lot of people who sign autographs who don't take that kind of care when they sign stuff, and he did. So that was very, very nice. I was thrilled, and I've had this lifelong affair loving Chet Baker.
It's funny you say. Is this say 87 on that?
No, it's a 4.
It's a 4. Okay, it's definitely a 4. How wild is that? 1984. Now, if I went back in time and I would have met him.
I know, honey, is because I saved the little flyer from that, and when you open it up on the.
Oh wow, Michael, you're like JJ French. You got.
I saved it. So he was doing Tuesdays through Sundays in December, and it was. Definitely 1984.
How wonderful.
Because it's the winter program, 1984 winter program.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, you got all the good stuff still. It's amazing. I have nothing saved back then. There was so many things I used to say from the Village Voice and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. Adika, it's like I could have, should have, would have, had so much more. But I don't know why there were certain things back in the day. I just went, I don't need to save it. And then when I think now, wait, I sold my vinyl collection when I was on a drug addict. I did this, I did that. But you can't look back. You have to move forward. You have to just...
Yeah, what's that? Who's that?
Sounds like a...
It gotta be Corey. It gotta be Corey. I blame everything on Corey all the time.
God, what the hell was that?
I don't know, but you know what?
Anyway, so yes, Chet Baker.
Chet Baker.
Born in 19... Let's see, when was Chet born?
Baker's autograph right there. Beautiful. You know what?
He was born in 1929 and he died today in 1988.
That's you know what, Mike, it's Corey. It's always Corey. Michael Lago. Let me ask you a question. When you do an A&R back in the day, did you ever think you'd meet a Corey Leventon in your life today?
No.
What am I doing? Can you just explain to me what's happening?
Corey, I want to tell you what you're doing. I look at you. You don't have to do anything. It's just I look at you and I love you. And I want the people to know out there I love you. There's always a guy on a TV show that, is lovable. You're that guy. You're almost like, you're like Murray the cop. Except,
but there was, back then there was probably never a reason that we would have met in like my A&R career, unless he had a band that he was promoting, and I don't remember anything like that.
No. Corey, did Ben Lima used to take you around?
We met, Michael.
Darling, I told you I don't even know my name sometimes. Never mind that we met. What? How
we met through Danny Fields, who was a friend. We met through Danny Fields, who was a friend of mine.
Oh, yeah, 40 years we're friends, Danny and I. Okay, I met 100 people, thousands of people through Danny. So forgive me, but here you are now.
I want you to get... I want Michael Lago to get... I want Michael Lago to ask Danny and all these people, do you know a Corey Leventon? But say it like, do you know a Corey Leventon? That's all. That's it. All righty? All right. Moving forward, I'll be Corey, we love you. Mike Pisano, we love you. Mcvey, settle down. Mcvey, you have any treats, any lunch boxes you want to show before we move on to the next? Nothing. That's it? That's all you have to say for yourself, Mcvey?
Right now, yeah.
All right, I'm going to introduce you guys. Then we'll go. We'll get rid of a few of you. I'm going to bring on somebody most important. Okay, very important.
Most important.
Most. How about I say?
Already?
He's here. I think he's backstage. He might be the backstage party, the chips, the dishes, the dips. He likes it all. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him from Happy Days. Don Most is coming on the Coffee Talk with Adika Live. Maybe I'll answer some of your questions. We're going to yenter, bring the coffee, the Entenmann's cake. Let's welcome your friend and mine, Mr. Don Most. Welcome, sir.
Wow.
Hey, Stefan. All right. Hey, everybody.
Good morning.
Nice
How
to
are
meet you all.
Yes, and I'll introduce you to everybody here, but somebody disappeared. So really quick, let me introduce you to the Adika gang, Mr. Most. Can I call you like Mr. Most, Don, or would you like me just to go away? You tell me whichever one you want.
Don is good. Donny, either one.
Okay. Don, this is my friend from Burbank, Mike Fasano, right next to me on top. Say hi, Mike.
Hey, Don. I just wanted to say hi. We've met before at an Alice Cooper golf tournament in Arizona.
All right.
One of those couple of day shindigs. And one other thing, my father was a carpenter on Happy Days, and I know we're not supposed to really talk about that, but he was a carpenter for years on Happy Days, did all the sets, and his name was Lou Fasano, and everybody, he was mean to people.
He was mean to people.
The name sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, that was my dad. He was a carpenter. But anyways, I just want to say, hey, because they're going to cut me off. And
Don Most,
nice to see you, Don.
Hey, Don Most, this is your life. I'm going to bring people from the past that you never met, you never knew, you might have bumped a shoulder, but you're going to meet them today. Lou the carpenter, and we're going to bring everybody here today. But really quick, before I introduce anybody, we do have a mutual friend. He owns a rehearsal studio in North Hollywood, Mates. Our friend Bobby Bruner, and his dad was a writer, I believe, on the show. That's right. Yeah, that's right. So Bobby owns Mates, and his dad was the guy. So I know.
Oh yeah, Bob. Yeah, he was one of our, one of the first writers on the show. He was with us for a long time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I ran into your friend
Bobby. It's
Bobby. Yeah, I used to live we lived in the same neighborhood, and we'd run into each other from time to time.
Mm-hmm. So there we go. We got that. And because, I am Jewish and I'm always looking for a good deal. So what I'll do for you, Don, you give me your number. I'll get you free rehearsals when everything goes away for your band. I'm just trying. You like that, Corey? Now, everybody down next to you is Corey Leventon next to you, my friend.
Hey, Corey.
And big fan of Slim Jim Phantom's a big fan of his. So Corey, writer from, formerly of Circus Magazine. And then we got next to Corey, Mr. Michael Mcvey, crazy fan. Mcvey, right? Mcvey. And the beautiful on top, Mr. Michael Alago. He signed Metallica, White Zombie, documentary on Netflix. Who the F is Michael Alago? And that's the game. Welcome.
Hi, John. It's so nice to see you here.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes.
You what? I'm sorry?
I'm excited.
Oh, well thank you.
That's cool. So I have some music questions for you.
Oh, we got a lot of questions. We're gonna start to write. So Don, tell me what well, that's a crazy question. What are you doing now? We're all home, you're all taking care of each other, but we want to talk about your music, Don, first of all.
Okay.
You're a big fan. What do you have coming up? All that great stuff.
Yeah, well, you had the live performances obviously are sort of just at a standstill. But I was in the middle of doing a new CD because I have a CD out. It's called Mostly Swinging, and it's great big band, fantastic arrangements in that style of the jazz standards, which I always loved. Some of the best jazz studio musicians in LA, and great arrangements. So that's out. But then I'm doing another one now with a producer in Nashville, a guy named Tony Mantor, and we're doing a little different kind of vibe. It's really cool. It's still some jazz standards, but with a much more contemporary jazz feel, not the old school big band thing, and even mixing in some 70s stuff. Like just so happened I did a Bill Withers, Ain't No Sunshine. This was several months ago. We recorded it, and a Smokey Robinson thing, and some interesting blend of sort of contemporary jazz and blues and a little R&B. So it's coming along great. I'm excited about it. I just wish we could finish it, but we had to put it. I was supposed to be in Nashville, in early April to finish it, and then we just had to put it on hold, So I'm chomping at the bit to get in and do the last 4 songs because it's coming along so well.
Yeah. No, it sounds good.
Sounds exciting,
Yeah.
And, it's not standards that you're doing from back in the day.
Well,
is it more like contemporary standards when you speak about?
No, there are a few. There are still some of the American songbook standards. There's a few of them, but then there's we did like a real bluesy version of Smoke from a Distant Fire, the old Sanford Townsend thing. And then I did a great jump blues song that I heard Big Joe Turner do. And we did it with a real contemporary jump blues vibe. And so it's different. And then, like I said, a Bill Withers thing. And then we did the old Smokey Robinson thing, Ooh, Ooh, Baby, if you remember that.
Yeah, of course.
But then a Cole Porter song, great standard, You'd Be So Nice to Come Home To, but with a combo and just a sax solo, just a nice, great rhythm section. These great players from Nashville, and it still has a jazz vibe, but more contemporary, like if Diana Krall was doing it, or somebody like that. When
I was at Elektra Records, I made a bunch of records with Michael Feinstein.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And when I signed him at first, he didn't know who he wanted to produce him. So I wound up giving a telephone call to the great Johnny Mandel.
Oh, yeah. What a great arranger.
Working with Johnny Mandel is like working with no one else.
Yeah.
His sense of artistry, his arrangements.
Oh my God, yeah.
Unlike anybody else's.
Yeah, Johnny Mandel was one.
Oh, Johnny Mandel is incredible. He's still incredible.
Yeah.
And what was the first record we made? Not My Romance. Oh, damn it.
So
Anyway,
you signed him. Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes, I saw Michael at the Cafe Carlisle.
Hmm.
There was quite a buzz about him. It was the early 80s.
Yeah.
So, Bob Krasnow, our chairman, Mike Bone, our head of promotion, they were the ones who really said, we need to do this. And Alago, you're the A&R person. So we did a bunch of records with him. And then he did a bunch of voice and piano records of certain
composers
back then. That was on our label None Such, which was a little bit more of an esoteric label. And, he did everyone from Jimmy Van Heusen, just all composers. And most of the time it was just voice and piano. I kind of remember that.
I remember
some
that
really nice recordings. But Diana Krall is also somebody very, very special, I think.
I'm a huge fan of Diana's. Seen her live 4 times. First time was at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh boy!
And she's amazing. As beautiful a singer she is, what chops she has on the piano. Oh my God, she's phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
I remember when I first heard her. It's because I saw an import of hers on a label called Just in Time, and so I gave the label a call, and by the time I started chatting with them, they were already in touch with, I guess it was Verve, and the late, great Tommy LaPuma, who wound up producing maybe the last 3 or 4 of her albums before he passed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember he was. Yeah,
Tommy LaPuma also was a game changer in production, Anyway.
No, that's great.
Anyway, Don, recently, because I knew you were going to be on the show, I pulled you up online and I saw a marvelous rendition of Mac the Knife from 2016. I think you were at some nightclub in Los Angeles, maybe?
Yeah, that probably was Vitello's.
Yes.
In Studio City. That was I think that was my first. I used to do it when I was singing before I was acting. I was singing in the Catskill Mountains and all the hotels and the nightclubs when I was 15 years old once.
Wow.
Oh my God.
And so I loved that music from the time I was very young. But I put it aside because I really switched my focus to acting around after that summer. And then when I started getting, success with Happy Days, this was still in the mid 70s, late 70s, and it was very hard to do that kind of music. Yeah, it was almost looked upon as my grandfather's music or parents' music. Mm-hmm. So I just didn't feel the right time. And then years later, when the Great American Songbook and all that style started having a resurgence, I figured, this might be the time. And about 5-6 years ago, I said, if I'm ever going to do it, I better do it now. And I put together an act and got a musical director. And that was the first show, that Mac the Knife.
Oh, wow. How cool. Well, it was wonderful.
Okay. Oh, thanks. Yeah, there's one I like. Well, it's hard to say I like it better, but that was with, 7-piece band. And it was exciting and it went great. The musicians were great, but I did it. If you look up on YouTube and put in my name, Donny Most, and Full Sail, FULLSAIL. It's a venue in Orlando, and I performed with the Orlando Jazz Orchestra.
Oh wow!
And we had 4 cameras, so we were able to get it really, really good and with multi-track recording. So check out. I don't know if I have the full song on there, but I've got promo stuff.
Okay, sure, Full Sail.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, check that out.
How far? I think you said you were. Well, you did say you're recording in Nashville right now, and you still have 4 more tunes that you're looking to finish.
Yeah, and we've pretty much decided which tunes we're doing. We pretty much. It's been a tough going through so many songs and with back and forth with my producer and and then trying to get the right, the balance and all that.
It's a tough one when you have so many artists to listen to from back in the day, and they don't get the Great American Songbook.
Yeah, there's so many. We're gonna include an original. It's really cool. Timing is kind of right. It's an original song but it's in that style. It could have been written in the 30s or 40s. It's called "Lonely in New York."
Oh wow!
So I'm dying to just get it done, and get it out there. But
were you recording? Were you recording at a studio that maybe we all know, or was it just?
Well, Tony, the producer, says it's got a lot of history. It's not in the main part of Nashville. It's a little bit outside, but it's called Hilltop Studio.
I'll have to look it up.
But he said it has a lot of history. So I'll have to find out more about it specifically. It'll be fun to learn about it.
Now, Don.
And I think before I hijack the whole entire hour.
It's okay. Go ahead.
So for the people out there who are listening and who appreciate the Great American Songbook, when was the last time you had a release out? What was your last CD and what was it called?
Yeah, the last one was Mostly Swinging.
Thank you. Yes, you mentioned that.
From Summit Records is the label. And it's on iTunes and Amazon. That was released about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I think. Yeah.
I'm going to look it up. Thank you so much.
Oh, sure.
John, I have a question about that record. I'm just curious because I'm a bit of a studio rat. I work on sessions and I play drums and whatever. Back in the old days, people would record. You said you played Vitello's with a 7-piece band. When you recorded that record, was everybody playing live and you singing with it? Because a lot of times today in modern music or rock and roll, everything's down. The drums will go on last sometimes. Whatever. How did you guys track that record? I'm fascinated with this stuff.
Well, the producer arranger, a guy named Willie Murillo, who's amazing. He's a trumpet player. He played with the Gordon Goodwin's Big Fat Band, which they've won a bunch of Grammys.
What is that?
Sounds like a hose or something.
it's something we heard it before.
Corey.
It is Corey. It is. I just muted him. Okay.
Corey.
So anyway, because he would have loved to have gone into Capitol recording and done it with the whole band and live and me singing along, at least for a scratch vocal. But the economics of it were so we didn't have that kind of budget, and so he said we can do this though. He's done so much studio work and produced that. He said I've figured out a way to really make it sound as good as almost as good as that by he would lay down the rhythm section first, and then another day he'd bring in the trumpets, and then I think he'd go to the trombones, then the saxes. And I was there for a lot of it when they were laying it down, but I wasn't even singing a scratch vocal. His arrangements were so, he's like a Johnny Mandel kind of, or Nelson Riddle, Billy May kind of an arranger. I mean, but yet with him, some of those arrangements are timeless and they sound like it could have been written today and worked today. And Willie has that ear. So that's how we did it in sort of in the different stages. And then I came in on a totally separate day and we just concentrated on the vocals.
Sure. That makes a lot of sense. That's how a lot of records are made. I just know a lot of these guys that are doing these big band or jazz sessions, they're so good. You can catch them all at one time. It's only one day. You're singing, the tempos are right to get all your words out. It's all sort of there. But I was just curious if that's how you were able to do that. And I thank you for answering that. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah,
I mean, these guys were so amazing. They're coming in and looking at, everything's written out. And some of the takes that Willie said that he used, they were like first takes.
Sure.
It's like crazy how amazing they are. Like they look at and they play it so perfectly. I've always just just can't even imagine how they do that.
Very expensive to use those orchestras, Mike. Don.
Yeah.
I remember making in '92. I made a Nina Simone record. We did in Los Angeles at Chick Corea's studio, and those people are in at 9. They're out at lunch at 12. They're back at 1. They leave at 5, and they ain't playing around. They have that stuff down pat. And because it was so expensive, we had them come for 2 days, and everything was done. And then Nina, because she wasn't in the best shape vocally, we put her to tape last because there was a lot of editing and cutting and piano stuff. But it was a really beautiful recording, and it happened to be the very last recording she made full length before she passed in 2003.
Wow.
My idol, Nina Simone. It's funny, guys, and I'm sure we can all relate to this. I was looking up Don this morning, and coincidentally on that same page I see one of my favorite songs standards is That Rainy Day.
Oh, right.
So wait a minute. So I click on it, and it's a video. It's a 7-minute clip of Sinatra doing That Rainy Day. And he's in a motel, and you see the neon behind his head saying motel vacant. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't even remember what record this was on. It was just kind of wild because it was like a video. And, Sinatra and people like that didn't make videos then, but it's really something. And Don, I'm sure you'd get a kick out of watching it. It's Sinatra doing That Rainy Day.
I'm going to look that up.
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's exquisite.
That definitely sounds great.
I definitely
lovely. Yeah, absolutely.
Look that up.
Let me ask you. Now I got a bad echo on my phone. Am I echoing?
You're fine.
Okay. Am I echoing? Am I okay with you guys? Am I echoing? Okay. I want to ask you, Don. Do you still got your vinyl collection? You got?
I do have a bunch of vinyls still. So I had more. Some of it got stolen when I was moving from one house to the other, and the house was kind of empty. The last thing were a few boxes of vinyl, and this was years ago, and somebody took them. But I still have, I probably have 200 of them, something like that.
You play the vinyl at home because it's such a.
I haven't set up. I was we moved, and I haven't set up the turntable yet here. Yeah. But I have to do that soon because I miss that.
It's the whole sound, the whole warmth of it all. There's a little place here. I live in Central Coast, California. So there's a little town called Harmony, population of 18 people. And at the time, there was a little restaurant. They ended up, somebody bought the town. So the guy had a little turntable in there. It was real cute Italian little restaurant. And on they had Billie Holiday playing on the vinyl record. And I just... It just turned me on. I'm like, oh my goodness, I need to get back into my vinyl because you could hear the crack and the warmth of the sound of the record. And it was so enjoyable just to have that in my home. And then it started me back into my record collection and all that good stuff. That's why I asked that question, because it's such a difference of the sound when you
totally
the needle.
Right?
Many years ago, I sold my vinyl collection. Don't ask. I'm not telling the story. And in recent years, I started getting vinyl again, and I've been collecting a lot of vocalists from like the 50s and 60s, like Joe Stafford. And
funny. Yeah, funny you mentioned Joe Stafford. I had always heard about her, but I wasn't that familiar with her. And as of late, I've been hearing her, and
her husband Paul Weston most of her records, and he was an A&R executive for a period of time at Columbia, and those are her great records. There's one called Swinging Down Broadway.
I'll have to
you can't, it's hard to find. You can probably find a Japanese import CD on Amazon or somewhere, or maybe it's on iTunes. It is flawless.
Swinging Down Broadway.
Swinging. No G at the end.
Yeah, swinging.
But for Brooklynese, I say it my way. I pronounce everything wrong. I can't lose my Brooklyn swang. So it's I can't even speak.
What were you going to say?
I speak Brooklynese. I'll say it my own way. And I'll say Hakami China, Yiddish. I say it wrong. Don, what's the right way to say Hakami? How do you say it?
Hakami Chinik.
Is it Hakami and Chinik? All right,
that's
Corey.
what I remember.
That's what I remember.
Yes.
Look, what's that, Corey?
Hakami Chinik.
Yeah,
hey
Corey.
guys.
Corey, this is
There's one of those
Yes,
vinyls
you're completely
on eBay
wrong. It's
right
not
now.
from
So,
China.
Don, can I ask you? I'm going to ask you a very unfair question, but nothing to be afraid of.
All right.
So growing up, was there any vocalists or vocalists? It's like asking who your favorite child is. Was there a vocalist that you really just?
Yeah. I mean, I used to listen to the DJ William B. Williams. He was on what was it? Anyway, in New York, and at night before going to sleep, I'd always listen to his show, and I got a real education of all the great vocalists. So of course there was Sinatra, and Dino and Tony Bennett, but I also and Sammy. I loved Sammy Davis, but I also listened. I started loving a lot of the female jazz vocalists. I loved Ella and Dinah Washington and Sarah Vaughan. And then Joe Williams with the Count Basie band. But the guy who became my man and very underrated and incredible, could sing any style, and he could swing with the best of them, could sing jazz, blues, gospel, folk, you name it.
I love this build-up.
Was Walden Robert Casado, better known as Bobby Darin.
Oh wow, that's his real name. I didn't know that's his real. Wow.
Yeah, and Bobby could do any genre, anything. I saw him at the Copacabana when I was 18. Forget about it.
One word. Forget about it. One word.
Yeah, I mean,
wait, you saw him when you were 18? Wow.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I'm saying you saw Bobby Darin at the
Copa.
Please tell me that.
Oh, it was phenomenal. It was just electric. I mean, I was already a huge fan because you get an album called This Is Darin. This was his second album. First one was That's All, which had Mac the Knife on it, and a lot of other great standards. And it's great. But This Is Darin, phenomenal. Every cut. Some of it, it's a lot. It's all big band and some great arrangers, Buddy Bregman, and I can't remember. There are a few. Richard West did Mac the Knife and all that, and great arranger. But there's some stuff that's kind of bluesy, and then something that's really jazzy, and then the standards, and it's just a great album. But at the Copa, I just remember waiting for him to come out, and then when he did, it felt like a prize fighter coming out into the ring. Wow. When he arrived there, and it was intense. And then he started singing, and it was amazing, and then he'll get up, and then he started playing the drums at one point, and he plays guitar and vibes, and he was a great showman. So Darin had the most influence of me on me, I think, at that time. Then when I got into college, I started really getting into what we look at as classic rock now. So I mean, I love that music too. When it started changing in the late 60s into the 70s, and I love that music as well. So there were a lot of influences from all over the place. But for the kind of music that we're talking about, if I'm going to I have to watch myself, because otherwise I'll, I don't want to just copy Bobby. When I do Mac, I do it like Bobby because
you get inspired.
There's no other way to do it.
No other way. There's no other.
I mean, Ella did a cool version of it, but he owned it. Oh my God!
Even his version of More. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just he owned it. Think about how ahead of his time he was. He played all the instruments. Well, he just. Do you play, Don? Do you play?
No, I don't. When I was growing up, played a little piano, but I'm not a player.
Yeah.
Bobby was very underrated. And if you check out some of his stuff, you'll see how versatile and how great he was. He was great.
Remember when he did the switch later when the hippies were coming in and he was on American Bands? And he took off the toupee and then he with the guitar playing. What was the song? Do you know, Corey, what he did? He did what was this song?
Well, he did. Yeah. He got into his sort of Bob Dylan phase for a while.
So did Dion from Dion and the Belmonts. He did the same thing. They all went that way, but the songs are still good. You know, they put the Lennon specs on. They started getting a little
Yeah, but some of those 70s records are rotten too.
They are right, but it just was a time. Now going into the 70s thing. This poor guy over here, this schnook next to you, Corey, he just can't get it right. Your mic, your air's coming in, you're blowing gas on the show. You just can't do right, Corey. And I know you're very nervous. Mr. Most is here, so you're a big Beatle fan, Corey. I'm a big Beatle fan. Corey used to work for Circus Magazine, but he got, anyway, because of the situations like this. Please take a really, I know. I'm trying to get Don to laugh, but I still got it. I got him to laugh.
Don, you know what? You're so fantastic.
You are
I'm
fantastic.
very excited to be here and speak to you.
Oh, thank you.
Really.
Yeah.
Thank
You're
you
like
so much.
You know what I want you to check out. You said, well, what are you doing? Because we're at home.
Yeah.
Well, I'm actually I'm working on this series.
Yeah.
It's a web series called Viral Vignettes. And it was a great idea by a producer that I know. He called me and he says, because I did something with him years ago. He says, I want to do something where we could still work from home, and be creative and productive. So he's got some great writers, especially this one guy, Fred Stroppel. Mm-hmm. And he sent me a script. He says the concept will be getting two actors, the well-known actors that are going to play characters. It's scripted, and it's embodying what we're going through now. So it's two people that can't get together in person, whether it's two old friends, or whether it's a father and a daughter, or whether it's a boss and his employer and employee, and you do it from your, like we're doing right now.
Yeah.
So I'm on my Skype and he's on his Skype or whatever, and the other guy's controlling it all, and he could put us side by side. And when editing, it could be a single on me, a single on the other actor, then it could be both of us, and we do the scene. We do the scene, but we just, instead of it being in a studio or something, we're at home. So I did the first one with a wonderful actor, Robert Wool, who he created Arliss on HBO and was Arliss, and he was in Hollywood Nights and Batman, and so we did one. It's called Old Buddies. So you could check it out. It's on premiered on YouTube about a month ago. So if you just put in Viral Vignettes and my name, it'll come up. And I have another one coming on today.
Yeah,
that's premiering today. I did with a wonderful actress, Gail O'Grady. So and then they have about 4 or 5 other episodes. And I just directed one yesterday with these two actresses. So, you get creative and figure out ways to do something, even though, we were doing it from my office and somebody's kitchen.
Kind of like this show. And the show we got going.
And I'm going to put the link in there for everybody to see, to go on YouTube, because I have a bunch of links you sent me this morning, and I'll put it in the comments, in the descriptions. I want to ask you something really quick. Also, back when you met, well, Corey, I'll lead it into you.
Can I do a lightning round of Happy Days questions, and you could just kick me off the show forever if I piss Donny off? I think
I don't care about him. He's bothering me. That's my show. It's my name. It's my show. It's my rules. Don, you know what,
The
Don?
Gong Show.
Don, you know what? I don't care about it. You know what? Let me do this. Let me be obnoxious for a second. Hey, Mcvey, you said nothing all day. Get the hell out of here. So, really quick, Don. Really quick.
Wow, you have the power.
I got the power. You know why? My show, my name. I'm like, hey, there's Howard Stern. There's this guy. Everybody gets a laptop. They could be an owner of their own show. And that's the Adika way. Now you're my guy. You're my friend. Me and you, Don and Michael. That's all we need. The three amigos. Really quick. I feel bad. He's so pathetic. Let me bring it back. But I'm going to ask you a question. for him. Happy Days when John Lennon came down there. You got to tell me that's a big one to me.
Oh my God!
Wow, I don't even know this.
You don't notice, Michael Lago?
No, please,
Okay,
please.
hold on. Before you go there, let me just show something to you, Michael.
Oh,
And I'm sure Don's going to bring it up here. Here, look at this right there.
Oh.
There's the picture.
Oh
right?
yeah.
wow.
That's it. Look at that.
Yeah.
There's Don.
Oh,
Ron.
yeah, that's right. You have the picture, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Julian on the bottom.
And Julian right there. at the
Julian,
bottom.
yeah.
All right.
I was gonna.
Let's see. I want to see your personal one is better than mine. Look at that. He has it framed. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Hey Don, who's on the other side of the photograph? Because I don't have that in mind. You have.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so that's me, Ron, of course, John Anson played Patsy Anson Williams, Henry.
Mhm.
Then that's Jerry Paris, our incredible director.
Yeah.
And his name was Alan Arbus. He was the guest of that episode. There's Julian. He was the guest of the episode, played a character named Skizzy, who challenged me to a drag race in that episode. And then Fonzie wound up, he was going to race him instead of, because I was chickening out or something like that.
That was
And Jerry Paris was from the Dick Van Dyke Show.
Yeah, not only was he from he played the next door neighbor, Jerry Helper, the dentist, but he also directed most of those shows as well. And then we were lucky to have him as our director. He was amazing. But that day was when John appeared. What happened was we're rehearsing a scene at Arnold's.
Mhm.
We didn't have, this was before we were shooting in front of an audience. We used to shoot it, like a movie.
Mhm.
So I guess this glare.
Oh no, yeah. I'll put you over here. You like to be with the gang, or you want to be by yourself? This
No,
is
it doesn't matter. But anyway, here. What if I do this?
Yeah, no problem.
A glare in his
This is good. These
We
are
can
fun.
see you fine, Don.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're fine. You're good.
Okay.
On my end.
So we're in the middle of rehearsing a scene, and there's a little break. Anson goes over to get a cup of coffee near the entrance of the soundstage, and he comes back and he goes, "There's a guy who just came in, looked a lot like John Lennon, And we're like, yeah. We start laughing. Yeah, right. John Lennon's gonna come here to see us,
Yeah.
This was like the first season. We're about 5 episodes into the show. 6, maybe 3 episodes have aired, and so we go, yeah, John Lennon's here. So all of a sudden, a minute or two later, the man walks by with the young kid, and we're looking at him, and we realize, holy shit, it's John Lennon, and we were like, oh my God, and he was incredibly soft spoken, very humble, and they were on a trip. I think he was going to take Julian to Disneyland, and I don't know. I think they liked either Julian liked the show, and of course John was a fan of 50s music, and so he wanted, I guess, to show him and bring him to the set, and they hung out on the set for a couple of hours, and he was, telling us not really stories, but he was just being incredibly genteel, and then Anson tells a story. I forgot about this. He was doing all these little doodles, and he was giving them to the crew. And Anson, why didn't we get any of those doodles? That might have been something nice to have.
Yeah.
But it was pretty. It was like surreal. I couldn't believe it.
By the way, on that trip that he did take to Disneyland with Julian, on the monorail, according to May Pang, who you also met,
Yeah.
he signed the papers that broke up the Beatles on the monorail.
Really?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Wow.
You just entered the Beatles zone. That's it.
Yeah.
No going back now, Don. That's it. Bobby Darin right to the Beatles now. Love Me Do Forever in your head. But there's
It's funny because you mentioned a very good friend of mine wrote a book, an alternative history book about what if the Beatles had stayed together.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you ever heard of it. The title. It's the title of it. It's a Beatles song name, but if you look at Bryce Zabel, Zabel, he wrote an alternative history, and he had researched it. He was telling me all about the trip that he took to Disneyland with. He probably knew that story, but if you're a real Beatles fan, you should check out that book because it's good.
Oh.
It's really good.
I mean, you're right. I mean, now you got the power because you're on Happy Days. It's a big show. You're one of the stars on the show. You go, here's John Lennon. But then you're afraid to speak. Why did I say that awful? Oh, why did I say that moment?
Yeah, I don't think I said more than 5 words.
Were you nervous? Were you nervous?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I was always very shy. I wasn't like my character. I was very shy, and I was much more, kind of introverted, and so I didn't know what to say to him. What am I going to say?
Stare. It's almost like Corey, because Corey actually cried on an episode. His wife, before you came on there was a Happy Days episode, and Corey was crying.
That's not a Happy Days episode, you idiot. It was the reunion. It was very moving. The last reunion you guys did.
Oh, the last reunion, yeah.
And my wife gets mad at me because I don't cry at anything. I don't cry when people die, but I was bawling at that reunion.
Wow.
What made you cry? What touched you, Corey?
The ending. The ending was just really.
What happened at the ending?
Was Gary still alive then?
Yeah. Was this the show, the reunion show that when years after the show had been? It wasn't like an episode where Richie and I returned.
No. It was the reunion show.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how it ended. Yeah, we were all. Yeah, Gary was there. We were all sitting around talking. They show clips, and we were at Arnold's. I think they brought back the set of Arnold's. That's the one that I'm remembering. That was the last one, and Gary was there for that. I just don't remember. I have a copy of it on DVD.
Corey, I got to see the scene that made you cry, just so I can make fun of you during the week. This is incredible.
It was sad. It was a sad thing.
All right. You really.
Can I ask you some Happy Days questions? Just trivia questions that I've always wanted to ask a cast member.
If I can answer it.
Corey, are you like a happy? You know what? I'll be honest with you. When I was a kid in Brooklyn,
it was my life.
I had those two. I had the Fonzie leather jacket. It was a little motorcycle. they made by Shots, who made the bomber jacket, and I'll never forget those. My family wouldn't get me the leather one. They bought me the fake leather one because it was cheaper. It's you get the cheap jacket. What do you want to ask, Corey? Let's hear it.
Chuck Cunningham, the big brother.
Yeah.
Who disappeared after 9 episodes and was never to be spoken of again.
Right.
When he disappeared, did you engage in pretending he never existed, or were you secretly scared that could happen to your characters too?
What happened was I remember he was there for the first season. I don't think it was only 9 episodes. I mean, my memory was that he was there for the. We came on as a mid-season replacement in '74, and we were shooting. We were supposed to only shoot 13 episodes, but we wound up doing 16 because it was going well, and they added a few. I thought he was there for maybe not in every episode, but he was there for that first season. Then when we came back after the break, and we came back for the second season, I remember Tom Miller, one of the exec producers, he pulled me aside and he said, just want to let you know what's going on. And he said it was a mutual decision. We didn't really know what to do with his character because the friends started besides his mom and Tom Bosley and Marion Ross and Joni, played by Erin Moran. Then a lot of the storylines were going towards Richie and Potsy, Ralph and Fonzie. So they said we didn't know quite what to do with him because he was sort of the jock, the dumb jock. He'd come by dribbling a basketball and say something kind of stupid, and and there wasn't much more that they were doing. And so they said he was kind of unhappy, and we understood, and we didn't quite know what to do. So they let him, out, and they said he went off to college. And then when they needed his older brother, there was an episode where Richie was going to move in with Chuck to get out of the house. They hired another actor to play his older brother. So, that's what went down pretty much.
Cool.
Look how happy you are, Corey. See, I make dreams come true. Huh? I stalked Don to make you happy. Isn't this nice? Isn't this nice? Corey, who do you think you related to the most of all the characters? I know when you were a kid, you would watch Happy Days and you want
Yeah, Potsy.
you were
I felt like a
Potsy.
Potsy.
You feel like a Potsy? Why?
I feel like a Potsy.
Why? Look at
Because everybody made.
you. He's looking like a real nutcase. Okay, why?
Well, everybody made fun of me my whole life. I'm a Potsy. It's fine.
I gotta be honest with you. I wish I could have been a Fonzie, but I think I related more to a Ralph because I still got it. The jokes, the humor. I always liked that character. Don, who did you base that character on? Is it a friend, anybody that you would like pick out?
Well, yeah, there were, like I said, I was pretty. My friends would be the ones that would try to score with the jokes and crack everyone up, and I was like their audience. I wasn't the guy making the jokes, so I would borrow things from couple of friends. There was one guy in particular that I remembered was really like that, and I started taking on some of his mannerisms, and just to he'd shrug his shoulders when he was going to do a joke, and that started it for me, and it gave me an attitude, and then as things it's just sort of evolved from that, an amalgamation of different people that I knew, and then Jerry Paris. The line, I still got it, I stole from Jerry.
Really?
Because Jerry was like that. I mean, he was a funny guy, brilliant comedic director, and he used to love to score, and get everybody cracking up, and kind of when they wouldn't even expect it, and he would take us all over. I mean, we did all kinds of things together, and he would be keeping us in stitches. He was so funny. And then when he'd score particularly well, he'd go, I still got it, I still got it. So one day we were doing an episode, and I went over to Ron. I said, don't tell, I'm telling you, but I'm going to do something. It's not in the script. Be ready for this, And it was a thing where Ralph was telling a joke, and then it wasn't in the script, but I just threw in the I still got it. And everyone went crazy. They loved it, and Jerry loved it, of course. And then the writer and even the audience, they didn't know what that was about, but it was funny, I guess. Even though they didn't understand the context for it. And then the writers, they started putting it in all the time, and even in danger, I still got it, or whatever was going on.
So that was an improv line. It was totally improvised.
Yeah, well, I realized, Jerry said it somewhere, and then, it just hit me. I said, that'd be perfect for Ralph so I borrowed it from Jerry.
That's great.
When Robin Williams was on the show, would he stick to the script, or would he do improv the whole time?
No, he would riff, he would do things, I was only there the first time he appeared, where everyone was like, what are we witnessing? Who is this guy? What planet he's playing a guy from another planet.
I forgot about
And
that.
it seemed like he was from another planet because his mind was, he was just coming up. Now, some of the stuff I think I heard he did in his act, with the little different noises and what certain kinds of things that he might have borrowed from his own act. But then there were times when you could see he would just improv, he would just start riffing. So the script, 75% of it was scripted, but 25 or maybe 35% of it was stuff that he was just coming up with. That was like, where's this coming from? It was everyone was like amazed, and so you got to see this guy, and who is he? And by the end of that episode, the end of that week, we shoot on a Friday. I think on Monday we found out, he's got his own show. Like it happened that quick because everyone was like blown away.
Now, another thing I want to ask you: you and Ron left after season 7. What was behind your reason to leave?
Well, there were a bunch of things. I guess foremost was the fact that, like I said, I was not really like this character. I wanted to have a career doing all kinds of roles and a variety and some diversity. And I knew I'd been doing this for 7 seasons, and you get typecast and you get so associated with the character, and I felt like really stymied and and I also frankly felt the quality of the scripts wasn't what it had been, and it's sort of going on a downhill. That was
so Happy Days jumped the shark when Fonzie jumped the shark.
Well, that's not. I'm not going to comment on when, if, and when. But it just so happened that that was I think in the 6th season, and I just was feeling like it was just becoming different. It was becoming a different kind of show, and so that was part of it too. But I'd say a combination of that and the fact that I didn't want to get so closed in on just playing this one character and not having a chance to stretch out,
Yeah. No, that was great. Great times. Great. Don, you bring so much. I mean, it sounds crazy. You bring so much happy because you are a cheerful personality, like Michael Lago, and from your character, from Ralph Malph, and even the way you're so passionate about your music today. I love it. I just love the energy.
Thank you. Thanks. I appreciate it very much.
It's so much fun. I mean, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, the music you do. And I was watching some of your videos, and God, you really are good. Now, on the show, when you guys were doing the band and all that, you did you just want to? You ever go? I want to do this. Did you guys really jam live? Everything, nothing was ever plugged in. Did you ever?
Well, we were faking we weren't really playing.
Yeah.
So we were faking it, but Anson was singing, and that's a whole long story because I wanted, I felt like I could, a band could have more than one singer, and I wanted. I was asking Gary Marshall to see if could I do some too, and but he was kind of resisting it, and I finally went in and I had a big meeting with him with my manager but he was, it's funny now and I look back at it, but I was upset. I was frustrated, but he didn't want to mess. He felt he had already established Potsy as the singer and my character was this other kind of guy, and he didn't want to mess with that, So they'd every once in a while give me something. I sang in a couple of episodes. There was a Valentine's special where Joni was having like daydreaming and fantasizing about different people in romantic situations. So I sang My Funny Valentine to a girl, and then it had a funny ending. So, there was a twist. And then I sang, and there was a dance marathon. I sang a slow song because Fonzie wanted to slow things up because they were tired, and I sang this slow but it was frustrating. I used to get a little upset at times
because you were a singer before an actor. Yeah. You said that was your passion before acting.
Yeah, it was my first love.
First love was Anson also? Was he a
singer? He had done musical theater, and so singing was something that he that was a big part of his arsenal, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, that's wild. All that stuff, Corey. Did I interrupt you? I'm sorry. I just want
No, it's fine. The only other question I had was, it's kind of a bit of a bummer, but did you guys reach out to Erin? Did you know that she was having such a rough time when she was?
Well, I mean, there were times where I didn't really know exactly what was going on. I knew she had moved with her husband back to Indiana, and that I'd hear little bits, but not really until then we heard that she was sick, because she came down with throat cancer.
Oh,
and that's when the most that I had heard. Before that, I just knew she'd been living in not too far on Palmdale, and then I heard that she and her husband had moved back to be near his mom, and they might have even been living with her for a while. And I didn't really know the full extent of what was going on. And then when she got sick, that's when we didn't get to see her because she was in Indiana. I had actually seen her a year before that she passed away, and she was with her husband, and they seemed fine. You know, when I saw her, it was at a personal appearance, like an autograph type show, and they seemed fine when I seen them. So I didn't really know like I said, what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Corey. Thanks a lot.
I mean, sorry,
Yeah,
about everybody.
you know, Corey, get the hell out of here. Bring my Chiappo back here. Oy vey. You know what, Don? I'm sorry, Michael. I wanted to do something before we head out of here too. I want to again. I'm going to put the link for all of Don's new music and all that good stuff up here. But Don, really quick, the viewers that are watching, you were saying, where could they find on YouTube? Is it a name, anything? Because we'll put the link in here. Anything you want them to see that you're doing most recently?
Well, you have your own channel there, perhaps.
Your own channel? Do you have
I do have a. I guess I do have a channel. Yeah, Don Most. And there's a bunch of my videos are up there.
Okay.
From music stuff. And like I said, the episode of Viral Vignettes. There's 2 episodes that I did. So if you just put in Viral Vignettes and my name, you'll see the one I did with Robert Wool is playing. The other one goes up in about 2.5 hours. It goes up at noon Pacific time. That one was called Scrabble. The other one's called Old Buddies. And then there's a movie I'm in right now on Amazon Prime, which is a really powerful film called MBF, aka Man's Best Friend. And dogs play a part in it, but it's mainly it's a wounded vet. Guy comes back from Afghanistan and he's traumatic brain injury, and he's trying to, just sort of assimilate back into regular life, and something happens which I won't give away, but then he needs an attorney, and I play his defense attorney, and I don't come into the movie till about halfway, but I have some great scenes in the courtroom, and it's a pretty powerful film, very different than what people would know me from. And if you also should check out, I did something with Anson where we play brothers, but it's very dark comedy, and very, very different, completely not what you would expect.
Was that called Harvest Time?
Harvest Time.
Harvest Time. Yes. Wonderful.
Yeah. So that's on YouTube as well. People should check that out. And like I said, MBF. And then I did another movie coming out in the fall called Lost Heart, and I play a local, small town local pastor, and it's a beautiful script. It's drama with comedy, a lot of heart. It's really, really, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I haven't seen the finished product yet, but I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah, that Harvest Time, I'm going to tell you something. So I just got your email this morning, else I would have had the links, everything put here. So everybody that's watching this, I'm going to put the links in the description. You could click right on it, follow Don's website, all that.
Did I include Harvest Time? I don't remember.
Yeah, and that's what I was watching 10 minutes before this, and I didn't get to watch the whole thing, and I started to watch it, making my coffee, and I got to tell you, Don, really quick, not to throw away from that, I was watching you and Anson together, and all these people remade The Odd Couple, right? I was thinking you guys would have been the best Felix and Oscar together. You guys together, it's just the chemistry is so great between you guys.
Yeah.
And just watching that Harvest Time, I'm going to finish watching. I was like getting so into it. I'm going to put the link because everybody out there, YouTube world, you got to check it out. I'm going to put the link there. I was like,
it's a great piece written by that same Fred Stroppel who wrote the other thing I was talking about. And it's just Anson and I going at it for like 30 minutes.
Yes.
In one location, real time, it's not like, you cut away and it's the next day. I mean, it's just because it's from a one-act play.
It was great, and you got the Brooklyn was coming out of you on that one.
A little bit.
Oh, a little bit? Oh no, a lot. I loved it. I mean, I got to finish watching. Then I'm like, oh my god, it's 10 minutes to the showtime, and I just got it now, but
Cool.
I'm going to
That's
put it
great.
up, Don.
Yeah, it's a really compelling piece. People should know there's language. I mean, it'd be PG-14, so just be prepared.
Because the thing is that people don't because you see Anson as a different guy because everybody's all stuck in yesterday. But to see you guys in these two characters, I'm like, oh my, this is great. So yeah, I got to watching that one. That was a real treasure. Thank you.
Very different. Yeah, thank you.
And you guys don't go if you have to go. Just hang out, you guys. I'm going to sign off right now. You guys,
I got a question.
Yes.
I just wanted to say one thing, Don. It took me this whole hour to remember my first album with Michael Feinstein and Johnny Mandel was called "Isn't It Romantic?"
Oh yes.
So if you don't have it, I'd like to get it to you. No pressure, but you could tell Adika or ask Adika to give me your address or post office box.
Cool.
And I'll get you my
I'd love to get that.
Simone record, a single woman that we made with a 50-piece orchestra with a drummer named Andre Fisher, who was in Chaka Khan's Rufus, but at the time married to Natalie Cole. So I would love to get you those two CDs, please.
Yeah, love that. Thank you so much.
When we were talking about John Lennon, I remember I think this book might be out of print, but I found it's a little in screwed up shape. But I found it at a flea market.
Oh wow, neat.
That is great. We got to get. That's my favorite Lennon picture. That was taken in Hamburg.
It's a great Hamburg.
Yeah,
wow, that's great.
You seen that before? You seen that photograph, Don, of Lennon?
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
Hold that up for a second, Michael. Let me make the screen bigger. Look, that's the actual Beatles. The other guy.
That's the Beatles walking by. That was actually that was on the back of his rock and roll album.
The rock and roll
cover
album.
That was awesome.
They were doing the club dates, and I think it's a great photograph.
In Liverpool, like
that's in Germany, I think.
Yeah,
it wasn't the Cavern. It was where were they playing? Corey, you would know. It was in
Reefer Barn.
Yes, it was. Yeah, but that's great. But Don, here's a great picture of Don, mostly swinging. Look at that great picture. I love Mike. That's great. That's classic. That's great. I want to thank Don for coming on Coffee Talk today, spending it with us. I
got a question before he goes.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Michael.
I'm sorry. Real quick. Is there any plans to work again with Kevin Smith on the Dungeons and Dragons reboot of the cartoon or any of that?
Oh, I don't know. I never when I did Dungeons and Dragons, it was the guy who created it and was our producer director was a guy named Hank Saroyan. I never met Kevin Smith, so I haven't heard of any plans to do anything further with that. But who knows? I mean, it was fun doing that cartoon. I had a blast doing it.
I mean, Don, you got so many stories. Family Guy. You were on that. I was watching a little cartoon. Somebody said, I think Corey, you sent to me when it goes Don. It was funny.
That's funny.
It was that was Brigadoon. Did you know what they were going to do with your vocal and everything?
A little bit. Because what happened was they had my agent called and said they had gotten a call from Seth MacFarlane and that they wanted to do this scene that was about my character, or about me really, not the character I play. It was more about me, and they said we'd love Don to come in and do his own voice, but they didn't know if I would get offended or think it was funny or not so funny, so they said we're going to do it regardless, but we'd rather have him come in and do it. If he doesn't do it, we'll get somebody else to do his voice. So I said, send it to me. And I read it and it kind of described what was going to happen. I didn't know visually exactly, but it described it. And I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was very funny. So I said, I want to do it. Yeah, definitely. So I went in and then Seth explained to me a little bit more of what it was going to look like. And I said, I think it's going to be hysterical. But not until I saw the finished product did I, with the great production they did with the choir of singing that song and the visual of it was so hysterical. It really got the full impact.
It really was. It was like a big rock show scene because I usually don't look at anything you send me, Corey. And when I saw that, I actually laughed, because I don't think anything you do is funny, Corey.
That was funny.
But it was a good one. So thank you for sharing that. God, man, I could go on and on with you, Don. You're a wonderful guest. I hope you come back here. Anything you're doing out in the future, I would love to showcase it, hype it up for you, whatever I could do. You brought happiness. Yeah, you brought so much happiness in our lives. I hope we could do the same for you as too. Ladies and gentlemen, This is Coffee Talk. I want to thank my buddy Don Most of Happy Days, but most of all, Don Most, the singer, the entertainer. There he is. Look at him right there. And everybody else, subscribe to the channel. We'll see you tomorrow. We got more things coming on. Thanks, Spearhead, the guys in Paso Robles Coffee. Michael Lago's book, I Am Michael Lago, Breeding Music, Signing Metallica, Beating Death. We got to get Don a copy of that book. I mean,
sure, I'll send you everything, Don. Really, it's been such a great honor and pleasure to be here with you. I only joined these characters a couple of Tuesdays ago, and this is like, I'm not going to curse. This is the best. So thank you very much.
Yeah, the famous A&R Michael Lago, the legend, the myth, the man. He's here. Not even the myth. He's here with me. He's my buddy, and he's your. Look at this. This is old school TV. Look. So everybody else, look at that. There's more to come tomorrow, this week. We want to thank everybody. Other than that, everybody, we are out of here, and this has been a wonderful episode of Coffee Talk with Adika. Thank you all.